welcome to the second week of December. It's starting to get a little cold and snowy up here. I'm feeling kind of festive wearing my red shirt. I hope you guys are having a great time. For all those in the States, I hope you survived Black Friday and Thanksgiving and have been enjoying this crazy trading week. It's been great. I've been loving it. I wanted to let you guys know, I did start sharing with my blog, my book, and then moved on to the Modern Trader Summit. And I have gone ahead and opened up pre-sale tickets for 2020. It's going to be in Philadelphia, and I'm super excited. I'm trying to reach out to one of my former real estate clients that it was actually a market maker at the Options Exchange in Philadelphia to see if we can get an exchange tour set up. So really excited about that. But if you guys want to come, I know I used to work in a world in aviation where we had to book our vacations in November with a bid. So that's why I do it really early for people that have to schedule their year in advance for vacation time. So it's going to be July 12th and 13th with live trading on the 13th. Some amazing speakers lined up. I will be releasing them each week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And if you guys want to give the gift of trading education, it is a great gift, or you can also ask for it as well. I'll go ahead and shrink this down so you can see we've got the website up, ready to rock and roll. And I'll put myself front and center right here. So you can see, you just go ahead and you click right here to book your seat. If you want to go ahead and book your seat, you'll see it is $100 off right now. And seats are limited for sure. We are going to sell out this year. It has been an amazing event. Last year, a lot of people were a bit disappointed that we did it in Canada. So I brought it back to the US, to one of my old hometowns, Philly, where I lived for 10 years. I can't wait to come back and visit. And if you guys are not from Philadelphia and you want some help with travel details, I did put the page up under Philly details, a map of the city where we're gonna be located for the event. Also, we love scanning stocks, right? And Watchdog is really cool for booking your airfare. It will go ahead and scan the airfare for you and give you alerts when the price drops or changes. And also hotels.com for booking hotels. And for more information about Philadelphia, visit Philly. They've got all the information there, events that are going on, things like that. And I love the city. I'm really happy to be getting back to it. As you guys know, I do my free weekly watch list, but I also have my daily watch list that is available on my website, cjanetrade.com, and my YouTube channel, which you guys obviously have seen it because you're here. But I do try to do a lot more content of helping other people on my YouTube channel now. I realized, you guys, I can probably help more people with videos because that helps me a lot too. So one of them actually is all about TradingView. I did do a little tutorial about TradingView and how I use it, as well as walk through on all the information. So if you are interested, definitely check that out. So let's get into the watch list and the indexes. You guys know I did used to have my Series 7 almost 20 years ago now, but I'm no longer current. So all of this information is my own personal opinion, is for educational purposes. There are risks in trading any sort of securities instrument. So please do your due diligence and trade with proper risk management. All right, getting into the indexes. We've got the SPY almost hit the high of the year, and we have a big gap to the downside potential. I've been thinking that we might see a top come around the 11th through 15th, 16th area. So by the end of next week, I'm thinking that might just be the top before we see this big dreaded pullback or correction that they've been talking about for, goodness, since last October, a year ago, back in 2018. So we've been bullish for since then, and we're up above the averages, the gap to the downside. I'm thinking potentially 320 or 321 area before it pulls back. We shall see. With NASDAQ, you can see it didn't come quite as close to the SPY. We are more than about 15 cents away from breaking out. However, we did have higher highs. And also Russell, what's really shocking to me is the Russell was higher it set new highs back over here. So that's pretty interesting with higher than normal volume. However, we did have some selling volume, putting it in the lower half of the candlestick. All right, getting into first potential long. So we have DocuSign. DocuSign did have earnings on Friday, announced it was on my watch list. It did have a nice drop, bounced off the averages, and then came on back up and rode it back up to the open a little bit higher, though. You can see it did close green on the day. I would look for support of 74.69 and resistance of 75.84. It does have 108 million in the float and 60% short volume. What is short volume? Short volume is going to be the volume, you have the total volume reported to FINRA during the day or after the day on Friday or every trading day. Now, 60% of the volume from Friday for DocuSign was short volume and 40% was buying or long volume. So we know that 100% there is 10% that's still short. Worst case scenario going into Monday. So it's important to know that, especially with lower float stocks, because that can really indicate a short squeeze going into the open. So I love to look at that for my potential longs on my list. Next, we do have Zooms. That's 20.1 million, and it had 43% short volume on Friday. This had earnings on Thursday, second day continuation. I would look for support of 35.13 and resistance of 35.68. Looking at it on the yearly chart, we are breaking out to new highs. And if we do draw a quick trend line here, we draw, say, from the high of this candle to this candle, we are above this trend line. So looking to see if that's going to go ahead and hold, or is that going to go ahead and break down below it going into Monday. We'll see, but it's higher than normal volume and lower float. Next potential long is Big Lots. Now, Big Lots, if you guys have seen Traders TV or TradersLive.tv, super awesome people in Toronto, was on as a special guest around 10:30, and we talked about Big Lots. This one was on my list as well on Friday. It did have a higher than normal short volume, and it is a lower float with 38.4 million in the float, and it going into Monday, it had 51% short volume on Friday. So watching this to see, it came up, it found resistance, pulled back, came up, found resistance, pulled back, and I'd said, hey guys, I think it's probably going to hit 25 today. They're like, that's pretty aggressive, Jane. I said, you know what? That's where the big guys are lined up on the books on level 2. If you guys want to learn more about that, come check us out in the Training Pits. Awesome place where we teach you a lot about trading, trading the dark pool, and life and how it integrates with being a trader as well. So watching big to the potential long going into Monday. It wasn't hitting highs for the year, but we did come back and we could be hitting, going right on up to test 25.60 potentially and 26.40 if we can break this moving average right here. Next potential long is Domo. Domo had earnings as well. Big doji day. Pretty much filled the gap, maybe a little bit more to the upside. This opened at 24.35 and we went to 24.22. So we might have a big move to that. If we're able to break above 25.29, could have more of an upside up to the 200-day moving average up here at 27.41. Now, Domo does have 18.9 million in the float, so it could have a big movement. But when we have a high volume doji, we can watch it to see which way the market's going to take it from here. Last potential long on the list is Cloudera. Cloudera had a big move up and then pull off into close, or sell off, I should say. I would look for support of 10.78 and resistance of 10.81. What's really interesting is they had this wick down, not really wick, but a price action down to 10.01. Is that a true trade? Was it a late trade from like a day ago, or after hours? We don't know, but something to watch and to note. And Cloudera does have 261 million in the float. Our first short is going to have 23.7 million in the float, Comtech, and this had earnings on Wednesday, pulled up, Thursday dropped, Friday dropped. You can see I have support of 34.87 and resistance of 35.18. When we look at it on the yearly chart, you can see that it did hit highs, came back to the averages, bounced up, and then pulled back. So we have this downward momentum right now, a bit of buying power here, but we do have the 50 simple moving average. So it might come down and try to test that at 34.04. We'll see, 2 higher than normal volume days. Definitely watch the volume because that's going to dictate where the price goes, right? Supply and demand. Volume will help to drive that price. All right, going into COO. So COO, again, higher than normal volume, right? Major doji right here came up, touched this moving average. We have the faster moving averages curling over, and it's above the slower moving averages. And COO does have 49.2 million in the float. When we look at it on the 15-minute chart, you can see it was really whippy going into Friday. So curious to see where we go. Big volume and a doji candle. We're going to go somewhere from here. Let's watch it and see, and trade and be prepared either side. All right, GWRE, next potential short. You see this? You see this big volume back over here? You think that's a coincidence? Come and learn more in the dark pool at the trading pit. We will tell you all about those little spikes. All right, so here we've got support at 110.19 and resistance at 111. It did have a massive range, but GWRE came down below the 50 simple moving average and has negative reaction to earnings, so looking for potential continuation to the downside going forward. GWRE has 82.1 million in the float, and then we have Zoom with 48.7 million in the float. Massive gap back down. Look, we're right back at where it opened for the IPO back in April. Is this going to continue down further? We shall see what happens on Monday. But we've got support on the chart at 62.73 and resistance at 63.5. So we will keep it on watch. Final potential short is UNH. I've got resistance at 280.48 and support at 280.25. You say, Jane, what is that green box? Let's look at it right here. Let's pull it back out on the yearly. It had dividends on Friday, which might have been the reason why it pulled back, but I didn't look up how much of a dividend. If it came back and it closed below the actual amount of dividend, that might be actual selling power right there. But we've got this, let's see, since the 25th of November, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 weeks of consolidation right here, right? It didn't go up above 280, 295, 283, or really down below 278, right? We had this one day where it dropped below and there was buying power. So we've got a big position of consolidation that's going on right here on the chart. So where we go from here could speak volumes, right? Volume will drive the price. So is it going to go up from here above 283 or down below 278? We shall see. I will definitely be watching it. That was the final one for my potential longs and shorts. I also have a potential longer term swing with LAC, Lithium Americas Corp. So it is a lithium mining stock. A lot of the mining and ore stocks lately have had a lot of price action, with price action meaning a lot of movement, gold and silver. And you can see that every time that we've hit this trend line, it's pulled back, right? Well, we're coming up to it potentially again. We do have this 50 simple moving average, which also acted as resistance back here in September and in October. So we'll see if we're able to break above it. If we're able to break above this trend line, we might see greater movement going forward. When we look back at what happened last December, right? At the beginning of December, it pulled back and then it curled up, hit the moving averages, and then dropped. December 27th was actually the bottom. So curious to see where we go from here, but I will be watching it. If you guys like my content, please like and subscribe and make sure to turn on the notifications. And if you have anything you'd like to see me review, please shoot it on over. Happy to help and happy to answer questions. I have been doing a lot more to help you guys with videos, so please check them out and have a great week ahead. Hardback profit.